Online holiday orders are streaming in, but supply chain chaos is causing panic this season.
On the clock rush by UPS and FedEx to get those late Christmas presents delivered.
Amazon is making a sudden change to your holiday shipping.
Yes, Amazon, the company used by so many and hated by many for its business practices. The story of the rise of Amazon Air isn't one of those inspiring videos of a business achieving success under tough circumstances. No, they were massive way before they started it, but rather Amazon, being the juggernaut that it is, allows it to expand and control more of their destiny. And sure, they have failures, they've certainly had some of those, but they can afford to make those because they have very profitable divisions like Amazon Web Services that can subsidize losses in other parts of the company. Also, just small improvements to their process, supply chain, can mean a lot due to their massive scale, allowing them to do things cheaper and faster. So before we begin, I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Insight Sync, a channel where we focus on syncing viewers with relevant and interesting insights into geopolitics, economics, business, and tech. So if you like this video or my previous video, please hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. It was Christmas 2014, the prime shopping season of the year. Amazon was promoting its Amazon Kindle device, but it didn't have enough stock in Seattle. Scrambling as they were, they contacted UPS to divert planes to meet the demand. Flashback to 2013, the year prior, they had the same problem. This time it was mainly with ground transportation issues instead of air cargo issues. A surge of last-minute shoppers and bad weather led to customers not receiving their packages before Christmas. Now in 2014, UPS refused to divert their planes at a moment's notice as Amazon was but one customer they were doing business with. The crisis was eventually averted by chartering, meaning paying many tens of thousands of dollars per hour to have entire aircraft, in this case, to fly Kindles to Seattle from other fulfillment centers across the country. What 2014 and 2013 showed is that while Amazon has its own vans and trucks to deliver goods from fulfillment centers to houses, they relied on FedEx and UPS to fly goods around the country. This means there was a crucial part of their logistics network not under their control. If for whatever reason the shipping companies couldn't deliver, Amazon wouldn't be able to honor their promise of 2, 1 day, or even same-day delivery. Something had to change. Around 2015, Amazon decided to sign deals with ATSG, Air Transport Services Group, and Atlas Air to lease 40 jets between the two. By leasing the planes and contracting out the flying to other carriers that were certified by the FAA, they didn't employ the pilots directly, and therefore they didn't have to deal with the pilots' unions. In the case of ATSG, they wet leased 20 Boeing 767 freighter jets, whereby ATSG provided the crew, handled the maintenance, insurance, and the operational control of the aircraft. This is in contrast to dry leasing, where the lessee, person who does the leasing, has operational control over the aircraft and is responsible for fuel, maintenance, etc., but has almost immediate availability. Their initial base of operations was in Wilmington, Ohio, and was for a time the central air hub from which they flew to Dallas, Texas, Tampa, Florida, Ontario, California, Allentown, Pennsylvania, where Amazon has warehouses. Their trial was a success, allowing Amazon to rely less on other carriers. Eventually in 2017, they decided to make a $1.5 billion investment into Cincinnati/North Kentucky International Airport to make it their worldwide hub over Wilmington Air Park. 4 years later, this opened in 2021 and provides the capability for 200 daily takeoffs and landings and space for 100 aircraft. They also invested in building a regional hub at Fort Worth Alliance Airport, which was completed in 2019. As a result, nearly 3/4 of Americans in the continental United States live within 100 miles of an Amazon airport, according to a 2020 study from DePaul University. During the pandemic, global travel came to a halt, and with that, airplanes were being literally parked out in the open, as well as being sold for discounts. It is here where Amazon decided to purchase 11 Boeing 767 aircraft from WestJet and Delta Airlines to be operated by themselves instead of wet leasing them in the past. By having control of the planes, they have greater control over when and how often to use them. During this time, people were stuck in their homes doing more online shopping for both essential and non-essential items, leading to more demand that could only be handled through expansion, which means more planes, fulfillment centers, which would eventually backfire on them later. As of the end of 2022, Amazon has a fleet of more than 85 planes, although that is still far from FedEx, who has 675 aircraft, and UPS, which has a fleet of 576 owned, leased, or chartered aircraft. That being said, over time, Amazon could further reduce its reliance on third-party carriers and control the full end-to-end logistics network from the time an item is ordered to when it arrives at a person's door for all deliveries. To that end, Amazon has also made moves to hire in-house air operations staff rather than rely on contractors at its air transport hubs. They have also acquired or have the option to acquire stakes in the third-party carriers they use, ATSG and Atlas Air. With these two moves, perhaps the plan is to one day acquire one of their carriers and launch their own airline to really compete with FedEx and UPS by selling their excess capacity to third-party customers. This was the model for Amazon Web Services, which was to build a service for internal use and then through its massive scale offer excess capacity to third-party customers. So in conclusion, Amazon wanted to reduce the reliance on FedEx and UPS as they had to work within the constraints and timelines of their carriers because Amazon was but one customer that wanted their packages delivered. With Amazon Air, they reduced that reliance and provide the capability to deliver their own cargo, allowing them the flexibility to ship their packages at moment's notice to one of many fulfillment centers throughout the country. So if you made it this far into this video, thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. This is Inside Sync, and thank you for watching.